Hello Creative Coding Club students. Today I want to talk to you about this amazing transition on the ustate.org website, alright? You'll see there's a little bit of distortion effect here, which we won't be doing, but when I reload the page, I want you to pay attention to this sort of mask reveal of these bars, okay? It's very slick and interesting. When we go to the About section, you'll see there's a more standard wipe, but if I do a reload here, you're going to get that same sort of bars effect, okay? Which I'm calling the staggered sawtooth. We'll watch it one more time, but as you can see, it happens really fast. And as a developer, when I'm exploring these things, I like to create a short video so that I can scrub through the effect, all right? So what we're gonna see here is I scrub forward, the hello sort of goes away, and then you're gonna have these bars building sort of from center, okay? And it's a very interesting pattern that's happening here, okay? You'll notice that it's not really uniform as we're going up and down and left to right. It's not a mirror image. This bar doesn't line up with this one doesn't line up vertically with that one, and it gives you what I call like a sawtooth waveform, all right? And then as we progress further, you'll see that those bars all sort of expand and eventually they will fill the screen. And of course, since I can scrub now, I can really inspect the shape that we have when we start out, and then also more towards the end, we can see how they sort of grow in relationship to each other. So today, I'm going to show you how to quickly set up the masking with the SVG, and then we'll dive right into the animation. And when we're done, we're going to have a file that looks just like this, where you can see we get this beautiful sawtooth stagger. And we can scrub through and you'll see that the starting position is very much like the original, and towards the end you'll see how those bars grow, all right? It may not be an exact copy, but it's incredibly super duper responsive, and after hours of tweaking, I was happy to say it is close enough, and I'm going to show you again some different ways of setting it up to get different results. Let's get going. Hey everybody, Carl Schoof here. If you want to snag these lesson files, just enroll in GSAP Summer Camp for $1.95. You'll get this lesson and nearly 30 more. Or if you want to learn everything I know about GSAP, just snag a lifetime plan. It's super affordable. Let's get going. So here in my starter file, I changed the background color to give us a little bit more contrast. You'll see we have a red line in the center here, which will help us as a visual aid. But I want to point out that we have this wrapper div that has a class of bars mask on it, okay? In there we have our image, which you see right here. There's our red line. And then to get the masking to work, or the clip path I should say, you'll see that there's an SVG with a width of 0, a height of 0, a view box that's 1 by 1, and then inside the depths there's a clip path with an ID of bars clip, and there's all these rectangles, all right? What you're going to see is that the rectangles all have a width of 0.05, and there are 20 of them, and they have a height of 1. So you may be saying, well, that seems really small. Well, we're using clip path units equals object bounding box, and you may be asking, well, what does that mean? Well, fortunately for us, we can read here that means that the coordinates within the clip path element are relative to the bounding box of the element it's applied to, not the overall SVG canvas. All right? That means that a height of 1 is going to make its height 100% of this element here, which is our full screen div. The width means that each bar is going to be 5% of the width of the screen. This gives us a fully responsive full screen SVG clip path. Play it right here, and I can, of course, make it bigger. And as we scrub back and forth, each bar is going to be 5% of the width. And when it is fully animated to its scale of 1, it's going to vertically fill the entire window. So this is an amazing little thing that we can do. And to make it all work in the CSS, I want to point out that the bars mask div has its clip path set to bars clip, which is the clip path inside our SVG. In the JavaScript, I'm using this set on every rectangle inside the bars clip, element to have its transform origin in the center and an initial scale y of 0. Then I'm building a timeline that has a 2 tween in it that tells all those rectangles to animate their scale y to 1. And we're using a stagger from the center. And with just that code in place, we do have a fairly nice effect, but it's not exactly that staggered sawtooth that we saw in the intro. So let's move on to building the sawtooth stagger. So in trying to recreate this effect, I studied this still where I put this red line in the center. And what it revealed is that the bars clearly are alternating their position around that center point, all right? This one sort of below it, this one sort of above it. And as I was playing the effect back and forth slowly, it kind of appeared that the transform origins were being alternated, all right? Like this one had its origin closer to its top, and this one had its origin closer to the bottom, right where they sit on this red line. So to get that in our file, I started playing around with the transform origin. And what I'm going to do is move the transform origin down to, let's say, 80% right here on all of them. And that's along the vertical axis. And you can see already that that gives us a much different visual effect, all right? Let's just scrub back to about here, and you will see that all of the bars now have a transform origin that on the y-axis, instead of being halfway down the page, is about 80% down the page. And then I thought, what would happen if we were to alternate that origin to be below and above that middle point? To do that, I'm going to switch over to using gsap.utils.wrap, and we're going to pass in an array of 2 values. The first one being our 50%, 60%, and then the next one's going to be 50%, 40%. Let me just scrunch this window to get that on one line. And woo, that was interesting. Look at that. Imagine trying to vibe code this and explain it to a chat GPT or something. I don't think so. So let's just scrub back here. And now you'll see that this one starts from an origin below the red line, this one above and below, and we get this really cool kind of alternating pattern. Now, in order to recenter these elements, I'm going to have to now change their Y position. And I'm going to bring this one up 10% and this one down 10% and sort of alternate that way as well. So right here, we're going to start them all out at a Y value using gsap.utils.wrap. We're going to move the first one up by 1/10, so that's going to be negative 0.1, and we're going to move the next one down by 1/10. So again, this one's going to come up to here, this one's going to come down to there. Woo! We're getting much closer. Look at that. That's pretty much what we want as far as the sawtooth pattern goes. I was thrilled by this really cool sawtooth or stair step that we're getting here. Now, unfortunately, when we finish up this animation, we have these gaps here, all right? And they represent the 10% offset that we have with the starting Y value. To get rid of that, we also need to tween the Y back to its initial value of 0. And you may think, oh, that's all going to be well and good. But then we get something like this. Where did my crazy sawtooth go? Well, the issue here is that they're moving at the same rate they're growing, and it just kind of brings it back to this regular sort of stair stepping that we had. And the solution here, which I had to play around with a bit, was that we would control the Y position of the bars moving up and down as they stretch vertically into a separate tween. So while this animation is playing, doing the scaling, I'm going to get rid of the Y tween in there, and I'm going to add another tween to my timeline that just handles the Y with the same duration, but we're going to have a different ease for the Y motion here, and we're also going to distribute them in the stagger, offsetting the start time with a different ease. The important thing is that this tween is also going to start at a time of 0, so they all happen at the same time. And now we're going to get something that is pretty much what we're going for. All right? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful and wonderful? Let's scrub back to here, and now you can see how this sawtooth pattern grows into this nice staggered stepping, and then towards the end, they all sort of catch up to each other. In your free time, I'm going to suggest you play around with this ease value and this ease value, and you're going to see you're going to get some pretty different variations. Now, while this is all happening, I like to add just a little bit of a secondary animation in, and I'm going to comment out this tween here, which just scales down the hero image, and we're basing the duration of this tween on the timeline's duration. So for as long as it takes to stagger all of those bars, we're going to be scaling down that background, and now this just adds another dimension to the effect. You'll just see that very subtle scaling down, and I think it looks wonderful. I'm going to go ahead into the CSS here, and I'm going to change the background color back to its normal dark color, and there you go. We have a beautiful effect. So to wrap up, let's play with some variations. I'm going to mess with the transform origin here and move this one to 100%, which is going to make it grow from the bottom, all right? So now what you'll see is that these bars here are growing up from the bottom, and that gives us a fairly neat effect. We could also change this 40 here to a 0, which will make the other bars grow from the top. Now you may notice, of course, that there's a little bit of a gap here starting off because of the 10% values that are offset for the Y. However, let's go ahead and make this a negative 0.5 and a positive 5. That was neat. Let's watch that. So just imagine if somebody came to you and said, I want you to build this effect or this shape mask right here. It'd be pretty tricky, right? But it's lovely to be able to stumble into these things. I'm also going to change the from value here to edges, and we're going to get something radically different than what we started with. And hopefully you can see how much fun you can have when you're experimenting while you're doing your creative coding. So I encourage you, take this file, explore it, and let me see what you come up with.